Takeaway Chinese, where you can take some Chinese away and experience progress day by day. Takeaway Chinese, we will promise you a difference.
你好，欢迎收听随行汉语 Welcome to Takeaway Chinese. I'm Niu Honglin, joined by Steve Hatherley. Hello, Steve.
Hello. Thanks for having me back.
Always a pleasure having you in the studio, especially nowadays, because you're from Canada. Well, I'm not saying Canada is better than other countries in the world. I'm just saying Canada has really cold winter. And for this episode, when we talk about the great winter delights, I'm pretty sure you have a lot to share.
Oh, food?
Food.
Yeah, wintertime food. I mean, the first thing that comes to mind for me is the meal that we eat at Thanksgiving and Christmas time in Canada. It's the same thing. It's turkey. With a lot of different side dishes like mashed potatoes and stuffing and carrots and peas and all of those things. But that's the first thing that comes to mind. But that's a very specific meal for two very specific times.
Right. Specific. That is the word I was thinking about.
Yeah.
They're like festive food,
Yeah.
not winter food.
Yeah, it's true. And it's the only time of the winter when we eat those. And to be fair, Thanksgiving is in the fall season. But when you said winter foods, that was the first one that came to mind.
Yeah, for me, actually in China, definitely one thing that would pop up would be 火锅.
火锅.
Hot pot. So we know 火 is fire and 锅 is pot.
Fire pot.
Fire pot.
Yeah. You know, I arrived in Beijing in the summertime, and there are lots of hot pot restaurants around, and I saw those restaurants are crowded even in the summertime.
Yes, that's the thing. Because in summer days, you can have hot pot with ice soda or beer, and it's also very nice. And also when you're surrounding a hot pot in really hot summer days, you start to sweat, and it's just... in Chinese, we should say 爽. So it's the kind of cool that you can enjoy.
No, see, I disagree. Because in the summertime, when you sit down at a hot pot table, you have to choose your seat strategically. If there happens to be a breeze somehow in that restaurant, you want to sit on the opposite side of the table from the direction that breeze is coming. Here's why. That breeze will fan the flame underneath the hot pot in your direction, and also the steam coming off the hot pot will be coming in your direction.
You did too much research on this.
My wife and I, we're sitting at this hot pot restaurant in, like late July when it's 36 degrees outside, and she's like, this is delightful. I'm really enjoying this. I'm sweating because I feel like I'm at the bottom of a volcano trying to eat the hot pot. Wrong side of the table. Yep, exactly. But in the winter time, you'd want to be on that side where the flames are coming.
Yes, and that would keep you both warm outside and inside.
Absolutely.
And there are actually a lot of different types of hot pot here in China as well. For those that can also allow you to have a hot bowl of soup. That's the best kind because you're both warm and happy, and warmth would go right down your stomach and then from your stomach to the entire body.
Do the hot pots change in the wintertime in terms of the soups or perhaps the ingredients that you put into it?
Well, not specifically according to different seasons, but definitely there would be seasonal specialty rolled out by different restaurants.
Okay.
But it's not like a customized choice.
Got it.
And for those of you who are already a little bit hungry, like I am, we are talking about winter day delights today. Not only hot pot, these real official meals, but also certain, small snacks that you would enjoy a bit more in winter days than the rest of the 3 seasons. So if you're interested in Chinese culture and you want to get a grip on the Chinese language, then this is the show for you. Stick with us for 30 minutes and you soon see the rewards. And for more fun Chinese learning, follow our Facebook page, Learn Chinese, to watch many fun videos and live streams. But now, let's provide you with some free Chinese for takeaway. This is the very first time or the first time that I can remember that when I say provide you with some free Chinese for takeaway, I'm talking about both language and food.
Yes, exactly. This is the perfect title today.
Okay, so there's this one food I want to know if you have, and I'm pretty sure you do, outside of China, because it's really easy and common. It's the toasted sweet potatoes.
Yeah, roasted sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes in Canada, we don't eat them as much as we do regular potatoes, but I know what you're talking about. Sometimes you'll wrap them up in tin foil. Do you do this here in China?
In really, like in restaurants. But what I am talking about, the kind of roasted sweet potatoes or 烤红薯.
烤红薯.
So 烤 is roasted.
Uh-huh.
烤鸭, Beijing roasted duck.
Okay, yep.
烤红薯 is the sweet potatoes.
Okay, 红薯.
红薯. Some people would also call it 地瓜.
地瓜.
The melon on the ground melon. 地瓜.
Ground melon, okay,
yes.
yeah.
But they're the same thing, basically. And they are really popular snack in China. And the sweet potatoes are typically baked over an open flame or in a hot oven until they're soft and sweet. And it's just on the side of the street.
Okay.
So you see this huge oven, kind of like a barrel.
Yep.
And you have the sweet potato in. And based on different types of the sweet potato, actually, they do not have to be foil covered. But you can still see
the black parts on the outside. Yep, I know.
And also
it gets a little crispy on the outside too.
And the I think the sugar would also come out a little bit in the form of this basically fluid sugar sauce thing.
Yes, I know. And I've had those before. I've never had them in Canada, but I've had them before. And you're right. The little black parts of the sweet potato, you just kind of pick them off and you peel it, and then the steam comes out from the inside.
Yes.
Pro tip, put butter on that.
Ooh.
Salted butter.
That would be good.
Not the unsalted butter. It has to be salted butter, because then you get the saltiness from the butter. You get the creaminess from the butter. You also get the creaminess from the sweet potato too. It is absolutely delicious.
Yes. I can imagine, and my mouth is watering because I'm imagining. And the thing about that is that in, again, really cold winter days, you're walking on the street. There are not many people on the street. Everyone's walking very fast in haste because it's really cold. And all of a sudden you see this person selling the roasted sweet potato, and you've already got your gloves on, but you still feel a little bit cold. And then you got one of the sweet potatoes, you hold them in your hand, and the warmth would already warm you up. And the sweetness and the heat. It's just really nice.
Really, really good. 红薯.
红薯.
Sweet potatoes. And 红薯. And roasted, one more time.
烤.
烤.
红薯. The end sound is a u. So 红薯.
红薯.
Perfect.
红薯.
烤红薯.
烤红薯.
So that is very comforting and nutritious and just nice. And people of all ages would be able to enjoy this.
How do you say chicken?
鸡.
烤鸡.
烤鸡. I like them too.
It's my favorite.
There are different types of 烤鸡.
How? Really? There's different types? You mean
Because-
different seasonings?
Different seasoning, and depending on whether or not you would put some sauce on it. One, you actually roast them. So yeah, different type. But 烤红薯, I still feel like when it comes to 烤红薯, the original one is already good enough. But I would definitely try the salted butter one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm Canadian. We put butter on almost everything.
Everything,
Yeah.
huh? And another one is, we talked about 火锅 hot pot already, but for many Chinese people, I think 羊肉火锅 mutton hot pot is the winter hot pot.
Oh, okay. I guess that's what I was trying to ask before when I was asking if the hot pots were different in the wintertime. The mutton hot pot, I don't think I've seen that before. So for those not familiar with hot pot, you go into a restaurant, and many times you just sit down, you order, and then you stand up immediately and you go to choose your ingredients. Sometimes they have an ingredients bar. Sometimes you choose from a menu. Going to the bar is always fun because you get to pick out the ones that you want. You get to pick them up yourself. But
the high-end ones are usually the one that gives you a menu instead of having you pick the right ingredient.
Oh, so the cheaper ones are the ones that you go and pick them up yourself.
Usually.
I see. But the mutton ones, how is this different?
Okay, so when it comes to hot pot, the general idea is that you have a pot full of broth, and you can dip the ingredient in, and once they're boiled, to take them out. But depending on different type of broth and different type of main things that you boil, there are different hot pot. So for lamb hot pot or mutton hot pot, we call it 羊肉火锅 or 涮羊肉, because in this 羊肉火锅, this thin slices of lamb are dipped into the simmering broth along with vegetables like cabbage, tofu, mushroom, and noodles.
Yep.
So the broth is also mostly, we say 清水. 清水 is like clear water. So 清水锅, that's just water. But mainly we would already have some broth in it, different nutritious ones.
It's not just water,
No. Actually, for 羊肉火锅, so in the broth, sometimes you would even see goji berries. That is supposed to be very good for your health. And also ginger, really cool for, again, winter days. And also Chinese dates. They are also considered very nutritious. So put them in the broth and then lamb. Because lamb, according to traditional Chinese medicine, is also the kind of food ingredient that would enhance the yang energy in your body instead of the yin one. So they're quite nice during winter days.
I see. Here's another thing that I learned from my experience eating hot pot. Don't drink the broth in the very beginning. You have to let it boil down a little bit, because if you drink it in the very beginning, then you're only getting the broth flavor. But if you wait, because there's a flame underneath it, so if you wait, then you're getting all the flavors of the vegetables and the meats that you're putting in there. So you got to let it boil down a little bit, and then that's when you start to drink the soup.
Yes, it's very tasty and nice.
Because when I first came here, and they put it in front of me, and I tried the soup immediately, and I thought, oh, it's a bit watery, actually. But then after I let it boil down, I tried it again, I felt like, oh, this is completely different from in the beginning. So yes, you have to wait.
Yeah, but I think it still depends a little bit on the type of 火锅 we're talking about. Because, for example, if you're having 番茄锅, if you're having tomato broth, then if you want the tomato broth flavor, you gotta drink it in the beginning. But if you want the tomato plus beef or tomato plus mushroom kind of flavor, you wait for it to boil down. You can choose even.
Yeah, right. And then you can keep changing the flavor of your soup by the ingredients that you keep adding, which is why hot pot restaurants are so popular.
Yes, they are. So that's 羊肉火锅 or 涮羊肉 lamb hot pot. And again, if we're talking about snack, another one that I personally really enjoy is chestnuts, 栗子. Chestnut in Chinese is 栗子.
栗子.
And candied chestnuts would be 糖炒栗子.
糖
炒
炒
栗子.
栗子.
Okay, so 糖 is candy or sugar. 炒 is fry.
Okay.
So it's not like the sugar is frying the chestnuts, which are what the grammar indicates. It's more like having both 糖 and 栗子 in the pot or in the pan, and you 炒 them.
So 糖炒栗子 is candied chestnuts?
It's like having candy or having sugar, as well as some certain types of sand that would spread the warmth more equally inside the pot, and then having chestnuts in it. And you have this huge tray and you fry them together until the chestnuts are done.
Oh, so the chestnuts are not covered.
No, they're not.
So
they're not sugar coated.
I understand. They're just cooked in it.
Yes.
I've never had these before.
You should try them, especially when they're fresh off the pot.
Because in summertime, I think it's common for people to buy the frozen.
Oh, yes, the frozen ones are good.
Almost frozen ones. Those are good. Those are creamy too.
And trust me, the tang chao leaves can be even better.
Oh, really?
Yes, in winter days, and you have to peel the chestnuts a little bit. They're still very warm, but because they're fresh off the wok, they're still a little bit hot, too hot to touch, but they're really easy to peel since they're fresh. And then you've got this really hot chestnut out. They're sweet, they're creamy, and it's really nice.
Ooh, bao bao. Question. I previously learned bao bao from you. Means baby. In English, we can say, ooh, baby. If something sounds delicious.
Please don't say that in Chinese. It does not make any sense.
Excellent. Thank you. Good learning point.
I thought you missed your wife. You want to share it with her.
Oh, no. I'm learning, though, how diverse the word baby is in English, but we don't use that about food. Okay, thank you. This is street food, by the way?
Yes.
Tang chao li zhi.
Tang chao li zi. And you know, chestnut, li zi in Chinese, shares exactly the same pronunciation with example.
Oh.
So, for example, in Chinese is 我举个例子. Let me pick out an example. 例子.
Okay. Yeah.
That is why in Chinese social media, you would see the memes of someone holding a chestnut in her hand. And that means this person is ready to give an example. 举个例子. Hold an example.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, it's a cute little side knowledge or side point about 例子.
Candied chestnuts, the street food in the wintertime here in Beijing. I'll keep my eyes peeled for that. Easy to spot. Can we find this kind of everywhere?
Easy, yes. If you see a huge wok with this equipment, because there are some automatic ones, because the essence of warming up the leads, the chestnut, is that you need to make sure that they're not overheated and the entire wok are in the same temperature, and that's why a little bit of sugar and a little bit of sand are involved here. We want to make sure the temperatures are even, and you will see this automatic equipment stirring the pot all the time so that they're on the same temperature.
Got it.
Yeah, so if you see that, most occasions in the huge wok, there are some delicious leads or chestnut in.
Yeah, sitting here thinking about Canadian wintertime foods, I'm not sure that we have anything that's specific, because where I'm from, we don't really have a street food culture per se. Not as much as maybe cooking at home. But I remember one of my favorite things that we used to do as a kid in the wintertime is we would go for family breakfast every Sunday morning. And we would walk out into the forest, and there's a cabin there. And the cabin was it was a restaurant, but it was only open on Saturdays and Sundays. That's it. And the trees all around were maple trees. So they would get and make the maple syrup directly from the trees.
Wow.
And then we would have, sausage and pancakes and hash browns and things like that. So we would go there for our Sunday breakfast. And the pure maple syrup, oh my goodness, unbelievable flavor.
I've never tried it.
You've never tried maple syrup before?
I've never tried the authentic and made from maple tree kind of syrup.
Oh, really?
I would love to.
I'll bring you some from Canada.
Oh, thank you. It sounds very wintry.
And addictive. Yeah.
But I think in general, candy is for winter days.
It tastes better somehow, doesn't it? Yeah.
And it makes you happier.
And you need that in the dark winter days.
Yes, you do. Which is why sometimes when we're at home, I think, one thing about, at least here in the northern part of the country, is the fact that we have central heating system, meaning that in winter days, when you're inside at home or something, you do not feel so cold. And to the extent that you want to have something that's even a little bit cold, like a ice cream or popsicle or 冻梨 for especially Dongbei people in northeast part of the country. They enjoy 冻梨 so much. I didn't used to enjoy this specialty during winter days, but now I started to understand the beauty of it. So to start with, 冻 means frozen.
Okay.
梨 is pear.
Frozen pear.
Frozen pear.
冬梨.
Yes, it is a traditional winter treat popular in the Northeast. It's frozen pear made by taking firm, fresh pears, usually the Northeast China's variety, letting them freeze naturally outdoors or in the freezer, depending on which style you
Sure.
prefer, and then thawing them slightly before eating. And the freezing process gives the pear a very unique and almost sorbet-like texture.
Almost like an ice cream type texture.
Yeah, and it's very refreshing, more likely.
I would have never thought about that. I've been eating pears when the weather got cold, but I never thought to put them in the freezer. And so what do you do? So if you want to eat it, you take it out of the freezer and then let it sit
For a little while.
for maybe, I don't know, 25, 30 minutes? I guess until you can comfortably bite it.
Yes. And the only thing is that you do not want to warm them up too much if you, for example, boil them. Because sometimes in winter days, we would boil fruit a little bit. We will boil fruit directly and have the soap, or we will boil fruit with wine and have warm wine, for example. But do not boil 冻梨. If you boil it, it'll lose the sweetness of the fruit and it will feel like you're chewing wood or something.
Yeah, right.
It's weird.
Yeah.
But again, think about it. It's really, really cold outside. And when you get inside, it's instantly warm. And you take off your clothes and you feel a little bit, hot and dry. And you have this 冻梨 to cool down a little bit.
Cool down a little bit
Yeah.
because the apartment is filled with nuanchi,
Yes.
warm air.
Yes, so that's 冻梨. I think those special treats or snacks in winter days are the kind of, winter delights that we all can enjoy.
Now we're starving.
Yes, you're listening to Takeaway Chinese with myself, Niu Honglin, and Steve. We would love to hear from you. Send us your thoughts via email to learnchinese@cri.com.cn. Coming up next, let's talk about some other winter delights that are more popular and outside of China and see how to say them in Chinese. Don't go away, so you will take some Chinese away. Welcome back to Takeaway Chinese. I'm Niu Honglin, joined by Steve. So, one thing that I can think of that are quite popular outside of China, especially during winter days, yet I don't know, it may have never found its huge popularity here, would be cheese fondue.
Oh, cheese fondue.
It's a winter thing, right?
Yeah, Switzerland's food. Do you like it, by the way?
I like it.
Yeah, it's delicious. And there's different types of fondue. There can be oil fondue as well, which in my opinion is not great.
I've never tried oil fondue.
I mean,
actually.
oil fondue is basically the same as hot pot.
Right.
Yeah, you just heat the oil and then you have your sticks of your meats and vegetables. You just put it in and when it's cooked, you just take it out. That's not my favorite. Cheese fondue, that's a different story. That is amazing. And same thing, you can put different types of vegetables or meats or breads even, like baguette if you want, and then you dip it in the cheese. It's like cheese hot pot.
It's exactly cheese hot pot in Chinese. We
really?
Yes, we call it 芝士火锅.
芝士火锅.
Cheese hot pot.
Oh, is it common?
It's, well, I'm pretty sure most people know what it is. But I have to say, I tried them several times, but not like tens of hundreds of times, because for me, it's a bit too heavy.
Oh, yeah, exactly. You just said the best part of it.
It's the good thing, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you dip for example, like you said, baguette or the Spanish ham in it and get the cheese. And after, I don't know, 10 bites of it, I feel like it's already too heavy for me.
Yeah.
I need variety.
I know what you mean. Yeah, because every bite is just doused in cheese.
Yes.
So if it's the bread that's doused in cheese, you kind of only taste the cheese. And if it's vegetables doused in cheese, you kind of only taste the cheese. I am a cheese monster. I love it. It's probably my favorite thing in the world. So for me, that's a perfect dish. But yeah, if you're not a massive, massive cheese lover, it could be a little bit much after a few bites, for sure.
Yes, and you know the thing about 火锅 in China. That is, yes, we have different types of 火锅 already, but even if you choose this one type of 火锅 and you enter the store, you can still have different 小料.
小料.
We call them 小料 or 蘸料. So 小 means small, and 料 is kind of like 调料, seasoning.
Okay.
Or 蘸料, 蘸料 means dipping sauce. So 蘸 is to dip in. So the kind of 小料, you can customize your own 小料. There are more, sometimes even more than 10 types of ingredient there. You have the sesame sauce, you have soybean sauce, you have vinegar, you have sesame. There
Hot
are
peppers.
a lot of different types,
Yeah.
and you can adjust the flavor of the ingredient based on or according to different types of 小料, based on your flavor, and you can do the 小料.
The peanut sauce.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the thing is, with cheese fondue, 芝士火锅, you kind of don't have that choice.
Because you don't need it.
You love it
Because
too
it's
much.
just good enough on its own. Yeah. And it is more popular in the wintertime, I think. But there's something romantic about it. I mean romantic in a poetic way. Because usually the places, I don't mean in China, but the places outside of China that would sell a cheese fondue in the wintertime, it has a very rustic, homey
Homey, yes.
feel to it. And if you can find a restaurant that has a rustic, homey feel to it, not some sort of like modern designed restaurant, then it just adds to that kind of cabin, wintertime, snow falling outside. If you eat cheese fondue when the snow is falling outside.
And fire is
yeah,
cracking a little bit.
And if you enjoy wine, then wine goes well with it, or some sort of hot beverage. Then it's just it's more of an atmosphere food for
an
me.
entire package.
Yeah.
Well, I understand that. And besides that, one thing that I learned about a little bit is 部队火锅 in South Korea.
部队火锅.
It's the kind of hot pot, but it's not a hot pot. It's more like an entire wok full of ramen as well as cheese and also some kind of sausage.
部队起给.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that.
部队起给, yeah. So basically,
It's a winter thing, isn't it?
it's more of a winter thing. It doesn't have to be, but yeah, it's a winter thing. So here's how you make it. You go to the fridge and you take everything you have in there and then you put it in a pot and you boil it together. And
Sounds my kind of cooking.
you know, it doesn't sound appetizing, but if you can find a good one, it's actually really, really good. And yeah, you can add cheese to it if you want to. You've had ramen with cheese, like hot spicy ramen with a slice of cheese in it before? Yeah. So you can do that if you want to. You don't have to. You can add on the ramen, 1 pack or 2 packs. You can kind of order that separately if you want. And then you can order extra sausage or order extra whatever you want. And it's very, very, very filling.
So 部队火锅, another winter delight.
部队. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
And one thing I want to ask is, how about barbecue? Is barbecue a winter thing, in your opinion, especially in, for example, from a Western perspective?
Well, not really.
Neither here in China.
Yeah. Which you would think it would be, right?
Right?
Yeah. It's more of a summertime thing.
It's definitely a summertime thing.
Yeah.
I think one of the reasons is that when you're doing the kind of barbecue that are with a stick with all of your meat on it, it's better done in open air area. So in summer days, it's just out there with a little breeze, especially during nighttime. But in winter days, it got a little bit too cold, if you think about it.
Yeah, to do it outside. Although serious barbecuers will still barbecue
That's true.
in the wintertime. But yeah, American barbecue. So that's one of the maybe food culture differences between Canada and the United States. We enjoy barbecue, of course, but it seems to be taken more seriously in America. And it goes state by state. And they're very, very, very proud of their barbecue. One of my bucket list things, they have the national barbecue competition in America where they have the best of the best. And this is no joke. I mean, these people are professional chefs.
How do you judge whose barbecue is the best?
Well, they have, yeah, exactly. Who cares? It's all good, right?
Yeah.
But they have different judges, a panel of judges, I
Okay.
guess. But they make chili and then different sausages and chicken and ribs and steak. And oh, it's just all good. But yeah, no, you're right. Back to your question. Yeah, it's considered more of a summertime thing than a wintertime thing.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, when it comes to food, it's always, you would always be the best judge of what is the best food for you. Suits your flavor, suits even your mood at that exact moment.
Yep.
And maybe one great meal in a winter day would make you remember that day for a really long time and try to find the memory, and at that moment, or just from that time on, maybe that food would be your winter comfort food.
Yeah.
And wish you can find that happiness for not only your winter days, but all 4 seasons.
Now I want mom's cooking.
Yeah, comfort food.
Yeah.
And that brings us to the end of today's Takeaway Chinese. I'm Niu Honglin with Steve in the studio. For more episodes of the show, you can visit our website at radio.cgtn.com and go to the column podcast. You can also listen to the show and read the script there. Find us wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Just search for Takeaway Chinese. Don't forget to leave your questions, comments, and ratings. 感谢收听，我们下次再见。
谢谢. See you next time.